Hey yo, what it do, Niner Empire TTC YouTube? Your boy Dizzle. Um, well, week 12, 49ers Saints, and I'm gonna get into all that in a little bit, but um, I meant to do a video yesterday, say happy Thanksgiving to everybody, maybe send a couple shout outs or whatever, but, ate a lot of food and, just got too lazy, didn't want to do it or whatever, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, I know this is kind of late, but I just want to take this time to wish everybody on YouTube and the TTC a very happy Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you guys had a great time yesterday. Hope you ate some good food and hanging with your loved ones, family, friends, associates, and it's just a time of the year where one day we put all our differences aside, and be with the ones that we really care about. So yeah, special happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the Niner Empire. You know who you are: JD, Frisco, Osmosis, Mr. P Town, Melman, King of FTP, Wrong Soldier. Um, it, there's too many of us motherfuckers in the Niner Empire, but there can never be enough of us. But if I missed you, I'm sorry. You know who you are. But happy Thanksgiving. In Honor Empire. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the NFC West and the TTC. The Seahawks 12th man. Dicer, Pigpen. I hope all is good with y'all. Cardinals College. You got RTL. My mind is free. Uh, Cattle Dog. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. And then Gateway Gang in Garoletta and my boy Money Mike. Shout out to y'all. Um, and Cheesehead Nation, CNS, Cowboys Extremists, Giants Mafia, Big Blue Commission, Philly Heat, BNG, Ravens Rain Gang, Raider Nation. Yes, I said Raider Nation. Um, Everybody in the TTC, no matter what team you rep, just I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving and just enjoyed yourself, and I hope you guys just enjoy the rest of the weekend. Well, now that I got that out the way, man, the rematch, and I know a lot of Saint fans have just been licking their chops and seething their teeth, waiting to get another shot at us. I mean, I'm pretty sure once that schedule came out, if this wasn't the only date that they circled, this was definitely one of them. And I'm only surprised this game, out of all games, didn't happen on Monday night. But hey, you know, America's Game of the Week on Fox, so it should be pretty interesting. And it's definitely going to be very interesting from the Niners standpoint, as unless you guys been sleeping under a rock and you don't know, um, I'm pretty sure that Colin Kaepernick is going to get the start again. And matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and address this whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Now, if you ask me who should be starting this Sunday, my head says Alex Smith, but my heart says Colin Kaepernick. Now, those of you that have been watching me for a while, you know me pretty well. I've never really been an Alex Smith hater. I mean, I'll bash him when he fucks up or whatever, but for the most part, I try to give him the support as much as possible. Um, for him to, I don't know what the full deal is. I don't know if like he's not fully cleared yet to play or whatever. But if he is cleared to play, but yet Harbaugh went to Kaepernick, I think that's, yeah. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't have done that because at this juncture of the season, we're 7-2-1, and he just missed one game, and Kaepernick did great, and I'll get to Kaepernick in a second. But you know, somebody says he was, I think, like 27th in passing yards and 29th in something else or whatever. And yeah, we know what Alex Smith has. We know what he's got. We know he can only do so much. And I do find it interesting that, a quarterback gets benched when you're the third, when you're third in the NFL in passer rating. I mean, that's it's rare that you see that. Even though, I mean, Alex Smith is Alex Smith. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Tom Brady. He's Alex Smith. But one of the things that I will give him is, since Harbaugh has stepped in, he might be a game manager, but he's making less mistakes, and that was something that was really plaguing him in the beginning of his career. So Harbaugh has him going in the right direction, and he's had a couple games where he kind of stood out a little bit, in a couple games where he was, nothing spectacular but efficient. And I think from Alex Smith's standpoint, I got to give the man props, because I'm pretty sure if he is starting, that he will be angry and upset, and he feels that, what more do I have to do, to keep this starting job? And, it begs the question, is it fair or is it unfair to lose your starting job to an injury? When the guy behind you just pretty much opens up the offense. So, if Kaepernick goes on Sunday here on out or wherever, I fully support Jim Harbaugh. It's not a decision I don't know if I would have made. I probably would have went back to Alex Smith, which I do like the fact, okay, we know what we got with Alex Smith, but we know with under Harbaugh, he's not going to make many mistakes. And then you have Kaepernick, to where he can really open up the offense. I still think maybe he might have a little bit of growing pains to do, but that remains to be seen. I mean, he's more mobile than Alex. He's got a stronger arm than Alex, and he seems he can get the ball in there where it needs to be. So for Alex Smith, I feel bad for him, because he's having a decent season, and it's really unfair to lose your starting job like that if Colin Kaepernick goes out like that. But having said that, I mean, you guys know, especially you, JD, you guys know that I've been backing Colin Kaepernick since his days at Nevada Reno. When we had our draft last year, or before we had our draft last year, I made a couple videos, and I said the Niners should seriously take a look at Colin Kaepernick. They really should. Now, maybe I'm just being biased because I'm a Nevada Wolfpack fan, and Colin Kaepernick did not play, on say a bigger stage as much, say like Tim Tebow did when he was at Florida playing in the SEC, or even if you're in the ACC or the Big Ten or whatever. He played in the WAC. But I mean, regardless, you still have to go out there and play the game, and no other quarterback has thrown for 10,000 yards in college and also ran for 4,000 yards. He is the first college quarterback to ever do that. Now, I'm not saying that's going to translate to success in the NFL. I'm just telling you that, maybe with, just a little bit more work, I think this boy can be something special. And I'm going to reiterate this. I'm not, you already know, I'm not an Alex Smith hater. I'm not an Alex Smith basher, but I am a Colin Kaepernick supporter. And this decision that Harbaugh made, I'm kind of divided in the middle. Yes, I'm glad for Kaepernick because, I said when we drafted him that this boy was going to be something special. I even took full responsibility for it. But then there's the thing with, Alex Smith. This man has been through so much with this organization, and I really like to see him. I really like to see him get to the promised land at the end. I know there's a lot of naysayers that don't think that Alex Smith can do it, and that's fine. And I believe that maybe, this is what we got with Alex Smith, and that's fine. I mean, he's been making, since last year, he's been making the plays that he needed to, and we have a great defense that can, that can really help us out, especially like if our defense, gives us a short field. But yeah, I'm very excited for Colin Kaepernick, and I didn't know what to expect Thursday night when he started, but I mean he did a whole lot better than I anticipated. I mean he took apart a very good Bears defense, and it was just amazing. And I love the way he was pushing the ball down the field, and whenever it seemed like the pocket was collapsing, I love the way he was you know, stretching the play more, if you will. So, tough titty for Alex if he constantly if he now lost his job to Kaepernick or whatever. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I love the fact that, with Kaepernick, our offense seems to open up. We can push the ball down the field more. And this reminds me more of the old 49ers of like how we used to do it with like Joe Montana or Steve Young or even Jeff Garcia. We knew how to push the ball downfield. And, with Alex, that's not necessary to say that he can't, but he can't do it as much. And I like to see the 49ers push the ball down the field more, instead of like a whole lot of conservative play calling or whatever. I like to see us push the ball down the field because that's what I came up with in the 80s and the 90s and so on. So, with that said, tough. It's going to be tough. New Orleans, it's not in Candlestick. It's going to be in the Superdome. And, I've watched the Niners play many games at the Superdome, with Joe Montana at the helm, with Steve Young at the helm, even Jeff Garcia. I've seen a lot of games there when, the New Orleans Saints were, back in the old NFC West, along with the Atlanta Falcons, even the Carolina Panthers. And I know that when Montana went in there and when Young went in there and even Jeff Garcia, we won some games out of the Superdome, but we had to basically earn almost all of them. I mean, if that's not the toughest place to play in, it's one of the toughest. And so it's going to be interesting to see, how Kaepernick, can produce on the road in a hostile environment. Can he keep his composure? And I'm not going to say that he's going to duplicate what he did to you, not to you guys, but what he did on Monday night against the Bears. I'm not saying he's going to duplicate that, but I just think that if the Niners, give him enough time, to work his magic, I think he's going to be fine. Because I'm not sold on the Saints defense. I think that's their weakest point. So I look for Kaepernick to, attack them. We obviously got to give the ball to Frank Gore. Feed to Gore. We will score. Give the ball to Frank Gore. Keep Crabtree going. Get Vernon Davis going again. Can we find a way to get Randy Moss going? I mean, we signed him for a reason, and I know eventually he's going to be due to like have a big game. It's bound to happen sooner or later. I'm not saying it's going to happen this Sunday, but he's bound to have a big game sooner or later. And other than that, I'm looking for a real hard-fought game. Maybe just like the one we had in the NFC playoff game last year. Drew Brees, Saints got that explosive offense. They got weapons, Lance Moore, Marquez Colston. I think Pierre St. Thomas will be playing. I'm not sure what his deal is or whatever, but you know, I'm pretty sure he's going to be looking out for Dante Whitner. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if our Niner defense can. The Saints, when we played them in the divisional playoff game last year, the Saints got theirs, and I knew they would. But the key to that game was we was forcing turnovers, especially early on. And I feel that if we can find a way to, you know, make the Saints turn the ball over and try to somehow, I'm not saying we got to stop Drew Brees. We got to find a way to contain him respectably. If we can do that, and then if Kaepernick gets going, then I don't see why we shouldn't be able to win this game. But as I say in it, on my pre-games, it's all about execution. And the key is, for me, is, can we slow down Drew Brees in that offense? And can Kaepernick, overcome, a hostile environment in the Superdome and handle his business? That remains to be seen. But I am going to tell you, who that nation, do not sleep on Colin Kaepernick. Do not sleep on him. I'm not saying because of what happened Monday night that's going to happen to y'all. And who knows? I still think, he has a lot of, or at least some, growing to do in certain areas. So we'll see what happens, but don't sleep on Kaepernick. Please don't. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it. And don't sleep on him like you slept on Alex Smith in the divisional playoff game, and you know how that went down. So, I'm looking forward to a great game. Out of respect, shout out Who Dat Nation. DZ, Gravy, New Orleans. I'm sorry, I can't say that one name. Sorry, New Orleans Algiers or something like that. Sorry. You know who you are. Who Dat, True Dat, Who Dat Football, Who Dat to the Bone. Man, there's so many of y'all. There's so many of y'all motherfuckers out there. But shout out to y'all. Good luck, and hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving as well. And just hope you guys, just enjoy the rest of the weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Again, happy Thanksgiving. See, my little background looks a little different. I'm here doing a video at my parents' house, and I don't know if you can really see that back there, but got that from my dad like about 9-10 years ago. It's like a little picture of Willie Mays. And all that. I thought he would like that. He's a Mets fan, but he appreciated it. But yeah, I'm just kicking it at my parents' house, just relaxing. Been on vacation all week, and so I go back to work next week and just be refreshed, and then get ready to tackle Christmas. Y'all, that's it for me. So, Niner Empire, one team, one family, one goal. I'll give y'all next time. Late.